What up, YouTube? Hey, look, I just seen this interview. Jose Benevidez Sr. talking about the fight with his son versus Caleb Plant, talking about Canelo, talking about a couple of other things. But the thing that stood out for me was he said that he feels as though Canelo is done. Canelo's at the end of the road. He's been fighting since he was 16 years old. Canelo's 32 now. Been fighting for 16 years professionally. Now, that is a long time. That is a long time to be boxing. So he pointed to the fact that Canelo's had a lot of injuries. He's been in a lot of wars. And, you know, most of the damage that fighters sustain is in training camps, which is true. That's true. Well, obviously, if you've been in a lot of fights, you've been in a lot of training camps where you take the most damage. And the reason I feel that he was pointing this out was because he was saying that was the biggest reason why Canelo wasn't going to fight his son, David Benevidez, the Mexican monster. And in my opinion, that fight has to happen. Canelo and Benevidez, we got to have that. We got to do it. We got to have that. Now, Canelo's already said he's not fighting Mexicans anymore, but I feel as though he'll make an exception because there'll just be too much pressure to not take the fight. But to me, man, Canelo's still in his prime. He's got a few more years left in his prime. He's in his prime. This is primetime Canelo. He lost to Bivol, but that was just because Bivol was the better fighter that night. And so, look, he's saying that, but if they were to fight Canelo today, they're not going to treat Canelo as if he's a worn fighter. They're going to treat Canelo as if he's in his prime, because he is in his prime. You know what I'm saying? You know, the idea that Canelo's worn at this stage, I just disagree with that 100%. I disagree with that. And, you know, I disagree with that, you know, but I could be wrong. So I'm open to the idea of being wrong about this, but I just don't see it at this time. Because there's nothing that I've seen in the way Canelo's moving, the way he's looking, his speed, his strength, his flexibility that tells me that he's slowing down or he's getting worn out. There's nothing that's telling me that. You know what I'm saying? Let's look at his last two fights. He lost to Bivol fair and square. Then you beat Triple G handily, but you lost to Bivol fair and square. And the reason why he lost that fight didn't have to do with speed or strength or athleticism. It just came to straight skills. You got a bigger man with a bigger reach, with better footwork, with better technical skills. It just beat you fair and square. So for Canelo to win that fight, it's going to come down to strategy, skill. It's going to come down to strategy and skill. I don't think it has to do anything with him being in his prime or out of his prime. You know what I'm saying? The same thing goes for beating the Benevidez. He's going to have skill and strategy to beat Benevidez if they were ever to fight. You know, he got to fight smarter. After you've tapped off your athleticism that your body can handle, you got to start fighting smarter. In all kinds of ways, sharpening the skills that you don't have, your weaknesses, you know, figuring out a better game plan. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. And so that's my thing. I just think there's no way in hell that Canelo's already out of his prime at 32 years old. I say he's got a few more years of being in his prime. 3 or 4 more years, in my opinion. And, you know, let's make some exciting fights during this time, the best that we can make. Definitely we want David Benevidez as one of those fights. You got to make an exemption for him, Canelo. But Canelo's still in his prime, man. I'm open to the idea of being wrong, but I just don't see it. Let me know what y'all think in the comments section. That's all I got for today. Junior Season, like, comment, and subscribe. I'm out.